Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the West Ham Network. You've just witnessed West Ham get beat by Fulham 2-0 at the London Stadium, and it was honestly, it was marred by the bad injury to George Earthy at the end. And fingers crossed he recovers and gets a quick recovery, but he goes down with a heavy landing, with a collision, looks like potentially an Alvarez. His head whacks the back of the ground. He looks really uncomfortable. I think the play stopped for about 8, 9, 10 minutes at the end of the game there. So we all wish him a quick recovery. And you know, the 3-minute cameo that he gave to us, he actually looked pretty decent. But unfortunately, by that point of him coming on, West Ham were already dead and buried in the game. But like I said, a speedy recovery to you, George Earthy, the young, youthful player who unfortunately came on for 3 minutes and then suffered a really bad injury. Now, if you are watching, you want to come on before Russ does come on, click this link, click it now, because I can get you in to have a chat with me, and we can just get your rant on the go. And I fully understand why you want to do it, because I want to do it as well. So please come in and have a chinwag in the chat. Click that link now. You'll be able to come on and have a word with me. I don't know what to say. We had most possession of the game, but what we did with the ball wasn't great. We really struggled. We looked so leggy. We looked so slow. We looked lackadaisical in our approach. Players haven't stepped up. They need to step up. Even the current flock of first team players like your Paquetás. Listen, I'm the biggest fan of calling, like, backing a player. I'll back the player to the guns, but I get frustrated sometimes when a player like that, when we're struggling to get a performance out and we need a win, is performing and holding onto the ball and doing tricky things and losing the ball and giving the ball away in dangerous areas. That allows a team like Fulham, who can break on the attack, break fast. They've got a quick break. You know what? Silva's done really well with that team, with what they've got, because if you look at their bench compared to our bench, in comparison to our bench, it's night and day. They've got players come off the bench. The Traore come off the bench. They never even brought Jimenez off. They brought Broja on off the bench as well. And they just dealt with all of the situations that was thrown at them. And the biggest thing is, Silva would have been said, and I think any opposition team will say, get at their defence, because their defence can't cope. Give them the ball, because they can't cope when they've got the ball. And even then when they do have the ball, press them, because they'll panic and all they'll do is punt the ball forward. That is the West Ham way. That's the West Ham way nowadays. And it's really, really frustrating. It's really, really disappointing. It's really gutting. And I don't know how we move on from here. We've got this game, this massive game that people are already writing us off for. And I can understand why you look at that game today and you get really pissed off. I'm as pissed off as you. I can understand why you look at this game and you think, holy shit, like, where the hell are we getting the next victory from? I can understand why you think like that. I can understand why you think why when we play Bayer Leverkusen, we're going to struggle on Thursday. The Bayer Leverkusen one for me is something that we need to see something. We need a reaction, because what we've had from today is worse than the Bayer Leverkusen performance, especially against Fulham, with all due respects. That's what happens. And I know a lot of people are calling for Moyes to go out, but we all know Moyes will not leave this club, and he will not be sacked from this club come the end of the season. We're coming to the results end of the season. We're heading into that direction. But for me, there's an element of I can't understand why you play with two forwards and Antonio and Ings and don't distribute the ball to them in any way whatsoever. It does not add up. It does not add up whatsoever. And really, to be honest with you, you can't necessarily blame Ings, because Ings wasn't involved, because Ings was going on scraps. Honestly, really, really bad. Just scraps. And it was just a very frustrating, all-round, crappy performance from West Ham today. Right, I'm going to try and give you a chance to phone in. If you just give me a second, I'll give you a chance to dial in, and you can come in and have your say as well. Right, let me just see if I can do this. And if I can, also, yeah, share. And then I need to bring that there and then put that there, right? So if you want, you're more than welcome to dial this number at the bottom there, and you can come and have your say on the show as well, and let us know your opinions on it. Let me jump through the comments and see what everyone else is saying. Nikos is saying one of the worst games so far this season. The problem, Nikos, is we're having regular bad performances from West Ham this season. Regular bad performances are coming out from West Ham, too regular. And we're at the business end of the season where you're looking for answers, you're looking for a bit of fight, a bit of determination. We're still fighting for something, but you can't see that we are. We actually, do you know what? We look like we're in preseason. We look like we're going on holiday. The players look like they're going on holiday. Like the lackluster approach to our defending. Like Mavropanos makes a bad mistake. He does, but he's not backed up by a guard. And then when you look at their second goal, no one's following Andreas Pereira. He's just literally left on his own. If you want to come in and have your say, dial 0116 318 3846. Or if you're dialing in from abroad, +44 116 318 3846. You can have your opinion. Who was your most valuable player? Nobody. That was awful. We looked tired and devoid of ideas. Absolutely. Nikos says, Antonio, Surreal says, that was shit. Moyes masterclass and Earthy going off injured. That really didn't help, did he? Fab man of the match. And do you know what? He did. He kept us in the game. A couple of really good saves as well. And that's what's dangerous. They've taken 7 goals off us this season. Fulham have scored 7 goals against West Ham. We haven't scored a single one. And that's supposed to be our strength this season. Our strength is supposed to be the ability to put balls in the back of the net. But we can see we're missing Bowen. You can see that we're lacking that intense approach going forward. And then again, it just highlights why our bench is so weak and so we lack that strength and depth. You can see how it all impacts us and has a negative impact to how our season is going. Disaster game from Troj. Fabianski was man of the match from George. Moyes out now from Aaron. I'd rather give up on Europe if it means Earthy is okay. Earthy, man of the match. Can't wait till the end of the season. Sick of this crap football. Can't wait for a clean sheet from Barry. Best passing of the night from Troj. Taxi from Moyes from West Ham United Philippines. Ben says we get worse by the week. I genuinely feel the same. I said when I was doing the match day live that I couldn't understand how we have fully flipped. And it does sometimes feel a little bit like maybe slightly lost the dressing room a little bit. I don't know. Am I being too drastic here? Am I being too whatever? But when we go on the counter, we're so slow. When Emerson gets the ball and goes forward, he stops. I think the only player that really tends to go forward and drive forward with any form of intensity, 2 of them, Kudus and Antonio. That's it. Europe over for next season. Moyes out in Sullivan. Please sell our club to a more ambitious owner. Uber for Moyes. Moyes out from Darren Turner. Donkey would be better. Please, if you want to come on, get your say. Dial 0116 318 3846 or +44 116 383 if you're dialing from abroad. I will get you on and you can have your say as well. Away fans are having a good time. They are. And I don't know why I bother going. And you know what? We're making the journey all the way from here to Scotland down to the quarterfinal, second leg in Europe again, because I'm going with my kids and they've got that hope, and that's the hope I'm jumping on. Moyes out from Ryan Vincent. A mid-table clash, nothing more, nothing less. Trini says, this is what happens when you allow this manager with a stupid small team mentality. You players run out of steam. Clueless Moyes cannot be gone soon enough. Mark Anderson. If you've dialed, I heard someone dialing, but they just didn't come through. So please redial the number again and I will answer and bring you back on. Moyes out for Mark Anderson. Anuj is saying if we had a talented modern thinking manager, we do so well with this group of players. It's so frustrating. My concern is I don't actually necessarily think we probably would. I think we might do a little bit better in terms of our flamboyant style of play going forward, but the strength and depth's the issue, and it goes further back than a couple of transfer windows. It goes maybe 3 or 4 transfer windows behind where we are just now. No need. No, we need David Sullivan to add some balls to get rid of David's toy. Season over. Only way we went Thursday is sacking Moyes, now caretaker in the Galvanist club. Hashtag Moyes out now from Maltese Hammer. Season over from Mark Anderson. Did we try and sign Pereira? We did. He looked like a decent player. They just walked through our midfield and defence. Again, static from West Ham. Slow in the uptake, slow in the second ball, slow in the tackles, slow at going forward, slow at countering, slow at everything, slow at forward thinking, slow at trying to defend. And you know what? When Fabianski got the ball, sometimes he went really early to try and throw the ball out to go for a quick break. And then we'd get the ball and we'd slow it right back down again and gave time for Fulham to cut back and get organised. Was Ings playing? He was. Unfortunately, it did not work out for him. Antonio's a donkey, plain and simple. My 12-year-old son technically better than him. He's a 20 minutes impact sub. He's a useless. Well, Stephen, within all due respect, I actually think he was one of our better players today. And to be honest with you, yeah, the frustrating part is sometimes he is so inconsistent in his performances. And if he puts that ball away in the first half, the game could be changed because we had a bit of momentum for the first couple of minutes, which allowed them to come in and snatch a goal. And that changed the whole dynamics of the game. Changed the whole dynamics of the game. Lucky it wasn't 4 or 5. Why not play Ings behind Antonio? Most managers would have. This manager has no clue. Yep, very tough to defend. Ings should have been up top, Corny and Antonio on the wings with Kudus and Paqueta in the middle. This is why, you know, we should maybe manage. I don't know. Totally the wrong lineup. Paqueta awful. He was v Bayern. He continues today. I'd be glad to see him go. Totally reliant on Bowen, and he has no idea what he's not about. I'm really disappointed in Paqueta's performance as of late. Actually, the last couple of games in particular, I'm disappointed in his petulance against Bayer Leverkusen for picking up that yellow card when he didn't need to. I'm disappointed in him holding onto the ball in dangerous areas. And I understand that when you're in a creative player like he is, and you want to progress that ball as much as you don't do it in those dangerous areas. And that's where he's doing it. And he's given away a second goal today because he's done that in the middle of the park. Just giving the ball to them. Could have made a mistake coming to this club. All on Moyes, surreal switching to the football, hoping for an upset. But of course, the Dubs will win that. That game must have been a must win for Europe. Sorry, but Paqueta should have been sent off from Neil Grant because it's boring way to play. Players are frustrated from all the Moyes in lot. Be careful what you wish for. I hope City take Paqueta. Paqueta lost the ball for both goals. Shitty performance from him. No Bowen and no Paqueta on Thursday. I'm scared to watch the game. It's going to be a tough ask, man. I don't know what the hell we're going to do. I mean, I can't picture Bayer Leverkusen, Danny Ings. I can't picture Bayer Leverkusen and some of our and pretty much most of our players, to be honest. And I don't know how you've got to turn this around. I know we're talking about a new manager. I don't know. It's going to be a massive rebuild. Either way, it's going to be a massive rebuild for West Ham. Who'd want to try and put a positive spin in that performance? I don't think anybody, Maltese. I don't think anybody can. I don't think there's a positive to take from it. I think, yep, and you said it there. It was only 2-0. There you go. These come back to you. Not lost the dressing room, just thrashed them. Exactly, Nico. So today was a big game to go above Newcastle. It was. Shame on the Fulham fans for singing well if it was cleared seriously hurt. I couldn't really hear it. I was too busy focusing on Earthy, to be honest with you. I'm becoming numb to these results. I've been moved. And to be honest with you, Lawrence, I agree. I'm becoming a little bit numb on these results because they are becoming regular and disappointing. Really, really disappointing. And not building a robust Europa squad. Yeah, and secure European football next season, in my view, from Nikos. If we played once a week, we would do all right. And that's what's interesting. There's clubs. I want West Ham to be in Europe year in and year out. And nah, because we need the rebuild. We need the change. Oops, what's happened here? We need a big, big change. Moist from Lawrence Salmon. We're just waiting on Russ coming in. He jumped in and then jumped back out. I hope there's something not wrong with the internet here. Hope you can all hear me okay. Shammy, Leatherface, Moyes, get rid now. Keith Douglas Harry says, we're all slow because Moyes uses so few players. This means two things. They're all knackered. 100%. They looked at today. They all look knackered. Anyone called on in the case of injury, suspension, lacks match practice. You are right. And we don't utilize that squad. 100%. Everyone bashing Moyes. I get it, but save some of the hate for the shit performance by a lot of players. And absolutely, I wholeheartedly agree with you there. The performance from the players today wasn't up to scratch and hasn't been up to scratch for a while. Paqueta needs to take a hard look at himself. Defensively, I can't fathom how you. It's fine that you can blame Moyes for tactics, but you can't blame for individual tactical errors in the team. So if we put the focus on the game, Mavropanos and Agerd are not good enough and haven't been good enough. I think thought there was a player in Agerd. And I think and thought there was a player in Mavropanos, and maybe there is under a different manager. But my concern is that the calamities that we're giving away in defence, watch our goals back, but not just the goals. Look at all the other players around the box. So when you look back at the goals that Fulham score, watch Andreas, right? But then the next time you watch it, don't watch Andreas. Look at the rest of the players. Then the next time you watch it, look at the West Ham players in and around all their teammates. I think when the Mavropanos incident happened in the first half, I honestly think no one else marked a player in the box. It was just Mavropanos. But he's just done a wild, like, heavy touch ball, and bang, it's fallen into the path of Andreas. Calamities, really is. I've never seen such a fall off a cliff from West Ham's defence. They got to look at themselves. Give Moyes a new contract from John. I think they're on the wind up. January, where all the dreams fade and die. No European football next season for us. Paquetá on the Copa Beach, waiting for City. I have to say, I think a lot of the team look like they were on the beach today, to be honest. I think they feel like it's the end of season. I feel like they think they've done the job at West Ham, but they haven't. And they definitely look like they are already thinking about pre-season. Right, I am going to bring in DJ Russie B for you just now. So let's get DJ Russie B. How you doing, my friend?
And Alex. Hello.
Oh, is Alex is in the house, mate? Alex, you all right?
DJ Russie B and friends.
Right, go for it. Talk to Alex and you two have your say. Go.
What a load of shit that was.
Oh crap,
What a load of shit.
We were good for the first 8 minutes.
Yeah, great 8 minutes.
Great 8 minutes.
Best 8 minutes we've seen for ages.
Oh yeah, no, I was full on, and then they get a goal and they shut up shop and neutralise us, and then it's back to us. We have a lot of the ball. We don't know what to do. We can't create anything. We run out of ideas, and we forget how to pass and shoot and run, and we just forget it. That's the only way I can put it.
Second half, they out-moised us.
Oh, without a doubt.
On the counter-attack.
Yeah.
Every time they had the ball, and then when they thought, you know what, we'll take the piss a bit, bring on a Adama Traore and Brozier because she didn't want him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If we play anywhere like that on Thursday, it's going to be a cricket score.
Yeah.
Absolute cricket score, isn't it?
And do you know what? For the first time in April, I was sitting there. Everyone else had empty seats.
Which bridge?
2 rows in front of me, 3 rows behind me, and I'm sitting there thinking, why am I still here?
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know. I just feel I wanted to go by about the before even Earthy had gone down. I was just like, do you know what? I don't want to be here now because nothing's going to happen.
Nah.
Nothing's going to happen.
For the first time, I didn't see us scoring. I didn't think we were going to score. At least like throughout this season, when we haven't played well, you still think there's a goal in us.
Yeah.
And I just felt weren't happening today.
No.
Weren't happening today at all.
No, there was nothing was there.
No.
What was the Russ? I want to ask you. I mean, the biggest issue I'm finding is that we've got like we actually look like we've got 1 foot on the beach. Genuinely mean that.
Yeah.
Like today's performance genuinely look like they've got 1 foot on the beach. I mean, Paquetá, who in his position doesn't come in for a lot of criticism, I always go, I'm happy for a player like him that when he tries to attempt things and if the balls get given away, then that's fine. But it's where the ball's getting given away in Paqueta's thing right now. He is not blameless in this. He needs to be blamed for his performances lately. What's your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, Anton was saying it looks like some of the players literally have 1 foot on the beach, it looks like. And particularly Paquetá. You know, Paqueta's like just it's where he gives the ball away.
Yeah, no, I totally agree there.
Alvarez looks off the pace today.
No, he looks a little bit off the pace. Like all these suspensions, he's like.
That's the trouble.
He plays for a game, he's suspended. He plays for a game, he's suspended. Doesn't.
Yeah.
And, I think he's really struggling now. I think Emerson looks very poor on the left side. I'd expected more from Emerson. Given that they can't go on the left side, I thought, right, well, they give it their all.
Yeah.
Just a bit louder, Russ.
No, it didn't seem to care. It didn't. I think that was the consensus for me now today. Didn't seem to. It just didn't. There was no heart. Do you know what I mean? Usually, if we lose, we go down fighting. But I didn't see that today. And like again, a case in point. I've been banging on about this all the time. Young George obviously goes down. It's really bad. You know, what does our captain do? Our captain's sitting there chatting to the Fulham player, and it's like. Would number 41 do that? Would Noble do that? No. He'd get everyone together, or he'll be over where George was, making sure he was all right.
Can't hear Alex at all.
I can't help it. Yeah. Get closer to my ear. Get closer to my ear. Yeah.
No, can't hear him.
Yeah. 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 No. Alex. Alex was. Alex was saying actually what a captain might have done would be because the Fulham fans were pretty disrespectful, to be honest, and you would have thought someone would go, look, they're taking the piss out of us. Let's give it 10 minutes. Let's fucking give it to them for 10 minutes. But it didn't, and it really winds me up because Fulham were there for the taking. They were there defensively. They're not great. And we that first eight minutes we should prove once again, same as Leverkusen side, that we could bring it to them.
There was a little bit of part of me thinking that if Antonio puts that chance away early on in the first half, then the momentum switches for West Ham and stays with West Ham. But the difference between the West Ham just now is that we're not clinical in front of goal just now, and defensively we're frail. And we cannot deal with any of their threats. We don't look like we're at the races. We don't look like we're confident. We don't look like we're fit. We don't have a strong enough squad. That's so clear to see. And that's not me being. You can't not be negative when you come up a game against a team like Fulham. Russ, they've scored 7 goals against us this season. We've not scored a single goal. 7-0 in aggregate, 6 points. They've walked away with 6 points against us. We've saw that opportunity taken away amongst us, and it's just all round. The players, I get the frustration at Moyes. We can talk about that again in the future and talk about that, whatever. But the players have to take a huge amount of responsibility from today. And I did feel sorry for Danny Ings because he was on scraps. He wasn't supported. And Alvarez, like you said, Paquetá. I thought Kudus was trying, but the problem with Kudus was he was isolated, so he was driving into traffic all the time. Paquetá just lackluster energy, feels like possibly he's got one eye switched on to that Man City move. I don't know if I'm being harsh on that situation or not.
It's a combo of both, let's be honest. It's because you're totally right. I mean, it's clear we're not clinical enough. Defensively we're really frail. We've got a small squad. All these things add up, and all that's on Moyes. It is on Moyes. But you're right. Players got to take account. And I don't think they do. At all. And I think that's the issue for me. Even when we were dreadful, you still feel like they wanted to do something. They wanted to have a go. And even if it was, at the end to put something on a couple of those players at the end, just to give something, it was a very, very, and it's not what we need going into Thursday at all. There's no momentum going into the fans are flat as pancakes. The players
the stadium was half empty.
Is it half empty at the end? No, I think Thursday the fans will be up for it because it will, because it's a European game. But at the moment, players are flat, the fans are flat, and it was we're going to go into a game where we're playing by Leverkusen, who could well win the Bundesliga title tonight. So. I think they're playing Union Werder Bremen, Werder Bremen at home. So it's not looking good for Thursday. But
they're
4:30
p.m.
Yeah, 4:30. Yeah, but as me and Al were saying just before we started, it'd be so West Ham to turn up on Thursday.
Yeah, but that's the thing, though. I do agree with you 100%. I think there's the capability there. There's when there's a will, there's a hope. When there's hope, there's a will. Whatever you want to take it, whatever way you want to take it. But
a team like Manchester United turned up.
Yeah, so I was just sorry. Yes, sorry, mate. Go on.
No. Sorry, this is terrible. I can't even be talking. But yeah, and then we turn up and just put in an incredible performance. Will we? Like, I'm not saying we will, but
we don't know.
You
that's why we turn up in it every week.
I still think like half the players this season in the Wolves game, their mind was on the first leg, and I think in this game, a lot of the players' mind might have been on the second leg.
I don't think it helps the fact that they don't know who's going to be in charge next season. Really, because are they playing for Moyes? No. If Moyes is going, they're going to play for him. No, I don't know.
I can't help but feel like there is an element you can't see that performance today and not start to question whether or not the players have got the vibe for the boss or the style of play isn't working for their style of play, because I mean, the gaps that were opening up, Russ, right, when they were coming on the counters, like they were so dangerous on those counters, and they were doing the simple triangles, and they were getting around of all of our players. We resorted back to just gradually jogging towards their keeper, but every time we defensively had the ball, it was a quick press, and then bang, we resorted back to just punting the ball forward again to no man's land.
Yeah, you're totally right. And it was the same as what happened against. It's the same as what happened against Leverkusen. Leverkusen, they put a massive press on us, and we panicked every time we had the ball. We had so little of the ball. When we had it, we panicked, and that was like today. Every time Kudus had the ball, we didn't have loads of ball anyway for him, and he was double up, and they rushed him, and that's exactly what happened with Leverkusen. They didn't do it, man, and that's what happened with Leverkusen as well. Exactly the same issue. Yeah, I don't know. I'm going to need another therapy session on Monday to try and get out of this one, ready for Thursday.
It's a tough one, man. It's a tough ask. It's a very disappointing day. What doesn't help is obviously the injury to George Earthy, who's gone down with a heavy knock to his head, a concussion. Hopefully it's nothing. Hopefully it's nothing worse than that. Hopefully, obviously they'll have to go and do their checks and stuff like that. But do you know what? If there was any light in that game, it would have been George Earthy's 3-minute performance, because he came in and he tried to do something, and he did a couple of nice bits of play between him and Paquetá, and it was just unfortunate. And I'm not saying we would have changed the game. I'm not saying he would have changed the game, but there was the only positive to come from that was George Earthy's 3 minutes. But the negative was everything all round, everything all day.
It was, and I'm not being funny, you know. As I was saying to Al, I mean, he was knocked out as soon as he hit the ground. George was, as soon as he hit the ground. And if it weren't for Danny Ings, I think Danny Ings saved his life, to be honest. Because Danny Ings he was the first one there, put him in a recovery position straight away. It was awful. Yeah, because he came on, he looked bright. I mean, that's what George does. Anyone watches 21s, he's a sniffer. He sniffs around the ball. He's always on the go. He's always on the move. You know, and you're right. He sort of first he did was win the ball back, and everyone cheered, you know, for winning the ball back. You know what I mean? But because it's from George, exactly. And then there was some nice interchange with Paquetá, and then obviously it was unfortunate. These things happen in football. His parents and a family sort of ran down the tunnel when ran after him. I'm sure we'll get an update of how he is, but hopefully a safe and a quick recovery for George, that's for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, listen, I don't know how much more we can talk about it, Russ, to be honest. So I'll let you and Alex go and have a little chin wag, and I'll finish off the show with the last piece of comments.
All right, mate. Come on, your eyes. Right, so what's next?
Right, so passing was rubbish. It was from Williams. So whose fault was it about today? Everyone's got to take a form of blame today. I don't think it's just David Moyes, but the players as well. So it was over in January. Sullivan never stopped laughing when he counts his money. There was only one player who wanted it today, and that was Kudus. Do we have players for Thursday? I don't know who's going to be available. We'll have to wait and see what David Moyes says as well, obviously. Do you think Moyes will go if he will be here next season? Fans get together and set up our own club, Russ FC. Hope George will be fine. Absolutely. In possession is key. We're always second best. Today we had the higher possession. Couldn't do anything with it. Anyway, I'm not going to bore you. We've got loads of stuff coming your way. As we prepare for the massive uphill task that we've got against Leverkusen. It does feel a little bit flat, but fingers crossed we can do something. Anyway, thank you for watching, everyone. Take it easy and come on your hands.